Okay, time to begin my review of the Voltron comic books, starting with the 3 issues that were released by, I'm thinking that they're called Modern Comics based on what I've been reading, and, I enjoyed reading these, but at the same time, that's because they're designed to work with, the original TV series perfectly. Like, you can read these as being part of their struggles because everything in there is literally the exact same. Same character suits, same lines that they use, which don't match up with the colors and all that like stuff. Along with Voltron being number 2 bad guy, but him still having to report to his father, who I don't think is even in the first of these 3, and I can't remember if he's in the second one. Yeah, that's not really a big deal. But what did I think of these 3 comic books? I think they came up with fairly nice plots that work well with the show, because the first one, Willpower, where Haggard takes control of Keith's mind, enjoyable. Sure, the way that they resolve it is kind of cheesy, but we've seen this kind of thing happen in other works of fiction before. Heck, I'm pretty sure Star Wars Dark Empire uses a solution similar to this. Could be wrong, it's been forever since I've read that comic. Then in Hot Shot, having Lance go out for a joyride, basically, and then having his lion too badly damaged to match up against the new one. I wouldn't be too surprised if something similar to that happened on the actual show, but it works fine just to have them do another adventure, because tons of those episodes, there wasn't that much difference between them other than the look of the Robeast and little bits of dialogue. Granted, there were tons of times where that wasn't the case, but you could definitely make the argument. And then the third one, that was definitely the most creative, where Lord Tor kidnaps Laura, who for whatever reason has every single key to the lions on her, and then the group tries to infiltrate Lord Tor's spaceship, but only Hunk is able to get in there. Not too bad, but there were a couple of issues with that third one, which I'll tell you about right now, because it's illustrated in there that Keith and Lance, they both get hurt when they're shot down during the attack, but you only see Keith actually getting shot down. Lance, you don't see him at all. Unless I just happen to be reading the panels incorrectly. And then Pidge, simply having him have problems and you just don't see him for a good amount of the fighting, that honestly was kind of, if you ask me, but yeah, so those 2 things were a little annoying, but other than that, I can't really complain that much about that third comic, because that got me into it, because I was really thinking during that one, oh man, how are they going to get themselves out of this one? Whereas for the second and first ones, it was pretty obvious that the issue that would need to be overcome would be overcome, right? Because they did use Allura's father in the show for advice a couple of times, where he told them stuff, because I think that's how the castle turns into Super Castle. I remember being pretty surprised when I saw that. I'm really curious to see how that's executed in Go Lion when I get there eventually, right? That's really all there is to mention about these 3 comics. They just fit in with the show nicely. Interesting to see those versions of the stories in comic book form, but I am glad that they didn't do that many of them, because they've already got a slight overpopulance of stories similar to this anyway. See you next time.